And we are live. We are live. Hello guys, my name is Climate of Joe. Welcome back to a new video. We're live on the Climate of Joe YouTube channel. I have no idea if anyone's watching the stream straight away, but I wouldn't be watching the stream straight away because I probably wouldn't have had the notification. I just got to mute that because it's giving us adverts, which obviously we have to have adverts on streams and videos because that's how I get paid from YouTube. And also, watching it fully gets me more money. So, I stopped skipping adverts. Welcome to the stream, everybody. I don't know if there's anyone live right now. We're live. Come on, computer. Here we go. Right, we're live. I don't know if we've got anyone in the stream right now, which we don't. Yeah, but let's set up the stream. Hello, my friend. Hello, Pixel King. Welcome to the stream. You've literally joined seconds after I put Yabba Dabba Doo first. I find it funny to put first on streams, guys, if it's on my own stream, because you get a million people typing first. Well, obviously, I don't get a million people typing first because I don't have a million views. But you get a million on bigger streams. You get bigger streams, bigger videos. You get a million people typing first because technically they were first when they typed it, but a million people have typed it at exactly the same time. How are you, Pixel King? Welcome to the stream. Hello, Alien. Welcome to the stream. Starting our first stream of the week, guys. I didn't stream yesterday. Guys, because I was knackered. I opted to not stream, but I did write. I did write part of this book I'm working on, and I'm going into detail. The funnest writing a book, guys, is the funnest thing ever. Publishing and writing a book is the funnest thing ever. It's the power of written words. You take someone on a journey from place to place. I'm getting a GTX 1650 for my PC. I wouldn't even know what that is. I'm not really good with computers. As long as it runs, as long as it can run what I want to do, I'm fine. So I don't know anything about computers. I want to build something. What should I build? Ooh, found something. It's a cave. Ooh. Hello, Glar3TN. Welcome to the stream. What have we found? Oh, I know. I didn't know that was there. Ah, so it's just. I didn't know that was there. Hello, Lego Man of the White House. Welcome to the stream. I found a load of pumpkins, guys. It's like a budget NVIDIA card. Oh, okay. That makes sense. It's pronounced glare. Oh, sorry. It's because of the 3. It's because of the 3. People will say GLAR 3 because 3 is a number. It can be used as a letter, but 3 doesn't really look like an E sometimes. Yeah, okay, so it's glare. Okay, welcome, glare. Yeah, it's 3 is quite hard when you're reading something for the first time. When you're reading something for the first time, a 3 will always look like a 3. Give me 2 seconds, everybody. No, I'm not trying to make Stampy's Lovely World. This is my world. I'm not trying to make Stampy's Lovely World. This is my world. Basically, I've played on this world for over a decade, Dragon Wraith. I've played on this world for over a decade. Well, almost a decade. So, I'm not trying to make my world look like Stampy's. I'm just building on my Minecraft world. So this is my Minecraft world. I'll be back in a second, guys. Yeah, because I've had it for 10 years. I'm just going to go and get my sister to turn the downstairs TV down a second. I'll be back in a second. That was quicker than I expected. When you get Minecraft... Ooh, I got Minecraft in 2014, so I was 12. I got Minecraft in 2014. But I played it on Pocket Edition initially. But then I bought when the Wii U edition came out in 2015, I bought that. So this is an older version of Minecraft that doesn't have the Ocean Aquatic updates or anything like that. But I've played this world for over a decade. I created this world in 2016, so I've played this world for so much. It's a weird one. Ooh, that was a bit weird. The game, my screen went. I've played this world for so long, guys, that's... I used to love Stampy. Yeah, your word is older than me. My word is older... That is slightly concerning that you're watching my stream and my Minecraft world is older than you. Because YouTube is... YouTube regulations say you've got to be over 13 to use it. 13 and up to use it. But, well, Stampy was an amazing Minecraft YouTuber. I mean, I loved his early content. I got a bit bored when he was on Bedrock Edition, but it's one of those. He started his content. I think my capture card is mucking up, guys, because it keeps on. Give me a second, guys. Literally, it's going to say this because I'm resetting. Yeah. If you were 6, you shouldn't be on YouTube for another 7 odd years. Hello, Mitch. Welcome to the stream. Right, guys, just give me a second. Makes sense. He kind of fell off. Well, he didn't fall off. He ended his series because it's a really clever thing why he ended it. If you guys get why he ended it, Stampy ended his Minecraft world because he was starting to feel old. He wasn't starting to feel old per se. I think my capture card's starting to go, guys. Stampy wasn't really feeling old per se, but his contents, for example, the people that were watching his content when he started were my age. When he started his Minecraft series, I was like 10. Because he started his Minecraft content in 2012. He started his Minecraft content in like 2012. I would have been like 10 when he started his Minecraft content. But it's one of those, the kids that basically blew up his channel were getting older and had stopped watching. And people were coming back to be more for more nostalgia purposes. So it wasn't really fun for him anymore. It wasn't really fun for him anymore. Due to the fact they said he was... Obviously, he still loved doing it. But more and more people... So, more and more people had started... So what it was is it didn't really fall off Pixel King. He basically took a decision to end it because people were feeling old. Hmm. 2018. I'd go back to 2018. I'd go back to because 2018 was a good year. 2018 was like 28. Me and Decepted, ironically, were talking about this the other day, saying that we both loved 2018. 2018 and early 2019, me and Decepted used to go out and shoot funny videos together. It's on another channel, which somewhere you can find them. But me and Decepted used to go out and shoot little short films together. And we've got one where Calamity of Joe gets killed. We've got one where Calamity of Joe gets killed with a brick. Where I get killed with a brick. We've got one which... And it's we did all these little short films, and we loved doing them. Which, as we got older, we constantly wanted to make more of it, but life got in the way. But it was fun in like 2018, 2019 times, meeting up, going into the woods, going on a walk, doing that shit. That was fun. 2018 was a great year. 2018 was also a great year for my YouTube channel. I used to let people... In 2018, I used to let people come on this world. A word of COVID never happened. But something was always going to happen, though. Something like COVID was always going to happen, because it always happens. Every century, every century that we've had, a big illness has happened. In the 1920s, it was the Spanish flu. The Spanish flu for 2 years took the lives of almost 50 million people and infected almost 500 million. COVID obviously didn't kill as many as the Spanish flu, but COVID did the same amount of sort of damage. COVID probably did more damage, actually, because COVID stopped countries. COVID stops countries from functioning. But COVID was always going to happen. Even if COVID didn't happen, something was always going to happen. Because every century there's always something. In 2020, I got COVID twice. Yeah, I got it once. I got it in September of 2021. I was at a wedding that I didn't want to go to. I caught it from a wedding. That wedding was fucking shit, mind. No offence to the people, but the best man's speech was fucking awful. The best man's speech, the woman next to me was brilliant. The woman that sat next to me, the guy told this really boring story about a horse. I could go on and on, and I could go on and on, and this woman next to me goes, well, we don't want you to, so crack on. Honestly, though, if it wasn't for it, I probably would have had a way better 2020. Yeah. But yeah, COVID was always going to happen. Something like that was always going to happen. Hello, Malik. Welcome to the stream. Well, I mean, I think everyone wishes COVID didn't happen. I didn't finish my final year of... I didn't finish my first year of college because of COVID. You welcomed him before. Yeah, I caught COVID in 2021. It was a... I didn't have any symptoms. I didn't have any symptoms of COVID, ironically. I didn't have any symptoms. So, you know, I could have got because I didn't have any symptoms. I had to because I didn't have any symptoms. I had to self isolate for 3 weeks. I couldn't leave the house for 3 weeks. Yeah, during COVID, guys, I couldn't leave the house in 3 weeks. So I got to be honest. I found the time useful. I made good use of that time. I repainted my bedroom for the first time since I was like 10. Basically, I hadn't, up until the start of COVID, I hadn't repainted my bedroom since I was like 10 years old. So the walls were still dark blue. The shelves were still there. So I repainted it for the first time in like 10 years. Maybe 9. But yeah. Another county? Why would you go to another county to not be infected? That doesn't make sense. If you to not get infected, go to another county. That's like going to another country. In Europe, that would be the equivalent of going to another country. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. If you've got an apartment there, that makes sense. Oh, thank you to the people who subscribed. We're closing down on 8k. Yeah. I was a bit different though, Pixel King. 2020, I found 2020 not as bad, but 2019 I had a really rough year. I had a really rough year because when you're 16 in the UK, you do your exams. So 2019 was the year of my exams. So that was a really rough year. That was a really rough year, everybody. Oh, and plus I suffered a lot of bullying that year as well. I suffered a lot of bullying that year. Yeah, 2019 was a horrid year for me, guys. I came back after I came back after these Christmas holidays, and everyone decided that they hated me. So for the last like 6 months of school, I sat by myself, which is, you know, it's quite a. But that's quite a tight one though, guys, isn't it? Last 6 months of school, everybody just turned around and decided that they hate me. But it's one of those. It happened. And honestly, some of the people that did that to me, I have not spoke to since. Because why should I? Why should I? Why should I give a shit? It's like if you become famous and people want to be a friend again. I'm like, nope. Oh God. Weird though. Yeah, 2020 was a weird. 2019 was an odd year. 2020 to 2022 though was an absolutely amazing time. Actually, I say 2019 was shit. 2019, the first half of 2019 was good. I say 2019 was shit, everybody. The first half. The second half of 2019. The second half of 2019 I actually enjoyed. I will admit though, guys, the second half was singed on by my start of college. My start of college made me feel much better. But yeah. When did I start college? I started college in 2019. Which is why I'm saying, guys, 2019 was shit, but then it got better. Because I met nice people in college. People that were actually, you know, proper nice guys. What age? You start college in the UK, you start college at 16. Because you finish school at 16 in the UK. The UK, you finish school at 16. Because and it's because, guys, America has ridiculously long holidays. It's because America has ridiculously long holidays. The UK only has 6 weeks off in the summer. I know America's got like 3 months. Because the UK has less time off, eventually the UK add that up, and that's probably the equivalent of 2 years. That's probably the equivalent of 2 years. Most likely. 2 months in Taiwan. Yeah, I think 2 months is too long. Personally, I think it's too long. I think it's some of it. I think it's too long. I think is it possible to make that jump? It is possible. 1 month in winter. Why a month in winter though? It's a lot of time off. I mean, everyone wants time off, but sometimes there's too much time off. Play mini games. I can't play mini games at the moment. I'm sort of thinking about what we're going to build on here, but I might play mini games, which is a good idea. I might do. Hello, Chris. Welcome to the stream. Thank you to the person who subscribed. One of your family members. That's tight. You can only take. Then I wouldn't take anyone, because I'd want to take all my family. No, I'd send somebody else in my place, because then, because that's like not being able to take all your family members. Obviously, you have the ones probably that you don't see all the time. But like my grandparents, you know, my immediate family. How would you justify it? Because you can take one family member, but who is that family member? I'd let someone else go in my place, because I wouldn't want to pick who. What would you do? What would I do? Do you know what? I'd shoot a short film. I'd publish everything that I've got on my laptop. I'd publish every book I've got on my laptop, even if it's half finished. And I would then drop all my books to free. I'd drop all my book prices to free to entertain people in the last 100 days, and then I wouldn't last 100 days, and I wouldn't stop streaming, and I'd stream every day. I would think of others. I'd start streaming to entertain. I'd start streaming as much as possible just to entertain, whether that's 10 hours a day, every day. Is that the answer that everyone was looking for? But that's probably what I'd do. Build a water park. I'm not going to build a water park because we've already got some water mini games here. I'm going to take these blocks home. But yeah, that's probably what I'd do. I'd probably try and entertain others. Oh, actually, I know another thing. I probably watch Thing as well. Stream non-stop. Well, you wouldn't be able to stream non-stop due to the fact that you would need sleep and your computer would need a reboot. But yeah, I probably rewatch Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit. I probably try and rewatch as much Doctor Who as possible. I probably rewatch the entire. I probably rewatch the entire eras of Eccleston, Tennant, Smith, Capaldi. I'd rewatch all of that. That's what I'd do. I'd rewatch the entire eras of those Doctors. One last time, eh? What do you guys think? Is that sad, guys, that if the war was ending in 100 days, I probably wouldn't do that, but that's probably because it's the end of the world. But well, if the world was going to end in 10 days, I get on a rocket. I get in a rocket in like 10 days. I get in a rocket, and then I go into space, because even though the world ends, the world will probably be there because the planet won't get destroyed. Hello, hello, Sanook. Welcome to the stream. Just going to close my blinds, everybody. It's getting dark. It's been stormy for weeks. It's been like rainy. There's meant to be a snowstorm coming in. And if you want to know, yes, this is traditional January British weather. We normally have lots of storms in January. January and February are always quite stormy. Okay, look after yourself, Swiss. Don't take everything to heart. Have a good rest of your day. Well, have a good rest of your week. Snowstorm feels like the apocalypse. I love a snowstorm. I love a snowstorm, but then when everyone's at home though. I prefer snowstorms when they come during the night and you're not people aren't trying to travel for it. But I only love snowstorms because I love it when it's white, and I love the photography stuff. But that's just me being a photography person. And also I used to love a snowball fight, and I used to go sledging, which I almost died going sledging before. I almost died going sledging. 20 Celsius in winter, it's already cold. 20 Celsius? That's warm. $20 that's warm. 20 Celsius, I'd love it at 20 Celsius. 20 Celsius is like a nice summer day. Yeah, 20 Celsius isn't cold. 20 Celsius is only cold if you're in very warm countries. 40 Celsius, yeah, 40 Celsius is warm. I know what it's like. I have been to places where it's had that. I was in Spain 8 years ago. I was in Spain 8 years ago, and in South France, in southern France, northern Spain, it was 39 degrees Celsius. Hello, Skatepunk. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, on that thing though, 20 Celsius at winter, I'd love it at 20 Celsius if it was winter. 20 Celsius is like a summer's day. It's lovely. 20 Celsius, if it's 20 Celsius, Jesus. 20 Celsius and I'll have my shirt off. Anyway. I'd love it if it was 20 Celsius, but right now it is like, I don't know, it's like 2 degrees. It's like 2 degrees Celsius. Welcome to the stream, everybody. But there is a... Yeah, I have closed the blinds, guys, because it's getting dark. It's not getting dark. I'm really good, Skatepunk. How are you? Their sauna's like 90 C. It's 20 Fahrenheit here. Ooh. Jesus, I know what that. I know how cold that is. I have experienced that cold weather before. 20 Fahrenheit is minus 6 degrees. That's not that bad. It could be worse. The coldest I've ever seen it in the UK was minus 18. The coldest I've ever seen it was minus 18. But the coldest it's ever been in the UK was like minus 30. Here, coldest place UK. The coldest place in the UK. The coldest record in the UK was minus 27.2, which was it was recorded in 1995. The area where it was recorded was in a valley, and they called it a frost tower that traps cold air. The coldest city on average, though, is always minus 2. But yeah, the coldest I've seen it is at minus 18. Minus 18 is horrible. But that's minus 18 Celsius. Yeah, the coldest I've ever seen it was minus 18 Celsius, guys, which is The coldest it's ever been with wind chill factor was -30, which, in fact, in 1962 it was that cold the sea froze. In 1963, it was so cold, it was -20 Celsius. It was -20 Celsius. So it was that cold that the sea froze. The sea froze for at least a mile offshore. And because it got so cold, they had snow drifts of 20 foot. They had like 6 foot of snow in some places. So cold weather is always horrible. I need a coffee to put me in a better mood. Sorry to hear that. When I'm in a bad mood, if I'm in a bad mood, I watch comedies. I watch old English comedies because some of them are just so bizarre. One of my favourite British comedies, guys, is On the Buses. Some of you guys in the stream would probably hate that now because the political correctness didn't really exist back then. If you dreamt the joke, you could make it. I'm about to start Doctor Who. Great show. What era are you going to start with, out of curiosity? Because it's an interesting show where you don't actually have to start with an era. It's an interesting one where it reboots itself every 3 years, technically. Because it reboots itself, it technically reboots itself every 3 years. Because everything about it changes. As a recommendation, the best era of the writing, the best era of writing was 2005 to 2010. That's where it was nominated. It was nominated for TV awards every year. And a lot of the renowned episodes were wrote in that period. Surprisingly, guys, the CGI still holds up. But this is an interesting thing on that regard. Doctor Who back in them days couldn't do completely CGI. They could only do 5 CGI shots every episode, which is why it was a more grounded science fiction. Because of the budget and the money, if they couldn't do more than 5 CGI shots in Doctor Who. Now they can do as many as they want nowadays because they've got a higher budget. But back then they couldn't do it. You can build a Pizza Express. Well, that'll be a cool idea. Yeah, Doctor Who back in 2005, the 2005 era, they couldn't do a lot of CGI. Which is a really interesting point of view, which I think it made it better. It was more grounded, so the stories had to be better. The stories had to be better because they couldn't rely so much on CGI. And the CGI only got higher if it was a Christmas special because they were given more budget at Christmas. Great show though. My favourite show in the world. In fact, I mentioned it in a book I'm writing. I mentioned that the main character, it's the main character's favourite show. In fact, that's really funny, Skate Punk, that you mentioned that, because I mentioned Pixel King put on the stream, what would you do if you had like 100 days to live? And I said I'd rewatch every episode of Doctor Who. I said I rewatched every single episode that I've ever watched. That's really funny you commented that, because I was contemplating last night rewatching Doctor Who from series 1 to series 15. If you guys want to know about that. Doctor Who came back in 2005, but they didn't start it with season 28 or whatever it was. They didn't start it with series 28 because obviously they were bringing the show back from being axed for nearly 20 years. They decided to bring it back with season 1, with series 1. So technically now there's technically 3 eras of Doctor Who. There's Old Who, there's Classic Doctor Who, New Who, and whatever they call this one. I don't know, New Who or something like that. They want to call it New Who because there's an episode of Doctor Who where they go to New York, but it's called New York. They go to a city. Can you tell us how to stream? Click stream. Yeah, there's a Doctor Who episode where they go to New York, but it's a New York on another planet, so technically it's called New York. Do you have to have over 50 subscribers? Yes, you do, but you didn't used to. So when I started my channel, that requirement didn't exist. In fact, I had some YouTube streams, I had some YouTube shorts took down the other day for a rule that didn't exist. I had a YouTube short took down a few days ago for music I use, but the rule that got it took down didn't exist when I uploaded the video. Which I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong on YouTube's part. If you create a video before a rule exists, why should you have to take it down? Why should they take it down? Because technically that rule didn't exist until after you did it. A YouTube channel I like, they did a video where basically the kid had been naughty, so they tied him up and burnt his Xbox, which is wrong, which is slightly wrong, but technically they didn't do anything wrong in. How old are you, .vr222? How old are you? Because they changed. I have 89 subscribers and can't do it still. I know you said that. How old are you? That could be the thing. YouTube changed the stream laws. Not telling. Yeah, that's probably why. YouTube changed it, so if you're in 13, okay, yeah, you can't stream when you're 13. YouTube changed the rules last year, so because of the 13-year-olds streaming and doing stuff they shouldn't, YouTube changed the streaming rules last year, so you will not be able to stream until you're 16. You cannot stream until you're 16. No, 12. Yeah, you shouldn't be on YouTube. How do you change it to 16? I have no... It's 16 now, Tyler Cash. It's 16 now. YouTube changed it, but you shouldn't be on YouTube. If you're 12, you shouldn't be on YouTube anyway. That's, again, you shouldn't be watching YouTube or uploading to YouTube if you're 12. Alright, so I'm chilling. Well, yeah, because I think you're like... I'm having a guess, Tyler, that you're 16, 17. Yeah, YouTube changed it to 16. How do you change it to 16? I have no idea. Because that rule didn't exist when I started streaming. Plus, I didn't start streaming until I was like 15, 16. So I wouldn't know. But you can't do it though. If they find out that if you're streaming .vr, if you do find a way to change it, and YouTube flags it up that you've changed it and flags up that you're under 16, they will just terminate your account. Because that's what YouTube have done. That's what YouTube's policies is. It's 12 on YouTube. No, it's 13. YouTube's not 12. YouTube's 13. YouTube's 13. The same as TikTok and all those other accounts. It's not 12. It's 13. Always has been. But yeah, if they find out that you're if you're streaming under 16, they will just terminate your account. But I'm 16. But then you just said you were 12. Hello, Diffuse Verity. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so that's why you can't stream. Yeah, he did just say that. How are you, Tyler Cash? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, they still watch it. That's the problem, though. YouTube never had the bollocks to do anything about it. Whereas Discord and TikTok started terminating kids' accounts who were under 13, YouTube didn't really care because more people on it provided the money. Yeah. The Roblox content farms and stuff killing this channel. Same with Use This Sound. I saw those Use This Sound things. I saw the other day, use this sound to get 1 million views. I'm like, oh my god, shut up. Like, F off. I love YouTube, guys, but I hate it when I spend hours on a video and then I see someone upload a video, then picking their nose and getting like 1 million views. Yeah. And they have AI cam, yep. AI is an amazing tool, but it's being used. That's so real. Yeah, 100%. Like you spend hours on a video. I can't stream. I'm 16. Well, I have no idea. Literally, guys. Yeah, I spend hours on my videos. So, for example, I'm a filmmaker by trade, and by qualification. I'm a filmmaker. I shoot a short film for 3 months. I go and edit it. Yeah, so AI is an amazing tool. So, for example, I use AI. I use Grammarly's AI tool. So it goes in and fixes mistakes. So if I've gone in and put like a comma in the wrong place, it takes it out and puts it in the right spot. Yeah, I mean, people can donate to my YouTube channel, but I don't glorify it. I would rather people buy my books instead. At least they get something back. But it is true. Like AI is an amazing tool that can help you. You can't use it to do the work for you, and that's what people get wrong. So I watched a short film yesterday. I come across this guy's AI short film. He put written and directed on it. Written and directed by it. He didn't direct it. It was a fucking AI film, and you can tell that because the very faces, the sea didn't move properly. I'm sat there like, all these people that do all this AI shit, I'm like, do they not realise that it's not working? You can't call it a short film if it's done in AI. And you could tell that the images don't work. Yeah, so I used Grammarly's AI feature to fix some spelling mistakes. But that's a good way of using AI. Whereas a short video, but it's not a film. No, a film is generally it's not a film. Because technically, half the time, these AI videos have become pictures. I don't type English. Interesting. Yeah. On that regard, though, as well, I love content creation, but it's got boring because people are uploading videos in AI and claiming that they've chopped down. Tell you what it is. I'm going to use a good example here. Someone that uses AI to make their videos for them is literally it. You know when someone goes to IKEA and makes a desk from the wood they got from IKEA. Basically, someone that goes and uses AI to make their videos is someone that's built a bench from IKEA and thinks they fucking cut down a tree and got the wood themselves. Do you guys get what I mean? So basically, So IKEA. IKEA's done half the job for them. It's got the shelf ready to make for them. But they think they've turned around and chopped all the wood up themselves. Well, man-made film is always going to be better because there's actual craft that goes into it. I don't know. This random guy's AI film popped up in my. This random guy's AI film popped up in my recommended. So I thought I'll just give it a watch. I'll give it a watch, and it was awful. It made no sense. It was about a guy who was a crop duster, and then a huge water wave came in and flooded the world. And he's just flying and flying and flying around. It made no sense because he would eventually have run out of fuel. He'd eventually have run out of fuel within a few hours because planes use a lot of fuel. The whole film didn't make sense because they just made it in AI. I love filmmaking, guys. The Minecraft world is amazing. Thank you. This world is 10 years old this year, guys. I created this when I was 14. Well, almost 14. They're all over the place, but none of them make any sense. Nightbot is telling me off. No, Nightbot's not telling you off. Nightbot is promoting my filmmaking channel. And guys, there is no AI filmmaking on that channel. There's only actual filmmaking. There's only actual filmmaking on that channel, guys, because I want to be a filmmaker. I've always wanted to be a filmmaker. I love film. I love storytelling. I love absolutely everything to do with that world. Joe isn't a Clanker supporter. Yes, there's even a short film where I give myself the main role on it. There's real short films on there. What? There's a short film on there. There's a short film on there where I didn't film it, but I had the main role, and I watched it back, and like, there's a genuine short film on there. Actually, there's a genuine short film on there that it was shot in 2019. I watched it back. Honestly, I watched it back, and I couldn't believe how short I was in that. I looked so short in that picture. In this video, in this old short film, I look so short. When I watched it back, I couldn't realise how short I was in that shot. In this shot. There was a film, guys, which I did in a museum, and I couldn't remember being. I couldn't believe I was that short in that shot, in this one shot. Man, one of my childhood shows turned into AI slop. A lot of things have turned into AI slop. I have noticed it in recent months. I have noticed that a lot of TV ads have become AI because they don't want to pay actors anymore. Which, you know, lower class actors that couldn't get jobs in TV. You got to think that was their bread and butter, you know, doing advertisements, doing commercials. It's time to drink water. Yeah, those advertisements. I don't need to drink water. This is generally how my voice is. But yeah, those short films, guys, they are not AI. They are actual films. They are actual films written by a genuine. They're actual films written by a genuine person. Well, not all of them. Some I've noticed in some ads now they're AI, and I'm like, come on, you know, think about those actors. Not all these actors that we have across the world. a lot of them haven't got a lot of them don't get the chance to be in a film or a TV series. Commercials. That's how they get earn their livelihoods. And now you're starting to give adverts to AI You're starting to make commercials with AI. I helped shoot a commercial a couple of months ago. Well, not in a way, Skatepunk. Not in a way. I only agree with it if the actors died. If the actors died and they didn't finish their work. So, say they're doing a TV series on Darth Vader, and, you know, James Earl Jones is dead and he did the voice. They did the voice. I only agree with it if the actors are dead and they needed, you know, and they need the voice of that character. So, like Darth Vader, for example, they need his voice for a Star Wars prequel show. Because they can't turn around and say that Vader isn't there. Because technically, he is there. Build Dark Vader. Do you mean Darth Vader? I agree, in a way like that. So they did it with a film. In a way, I think that's a good way of using it. Using AI. Whereas obviously some actors don't like that AIs use their voice. But in a way, I think it's a useful tool in case they haven't finished their work. Vader, I can't build Vader right now. I'm going to write that down as a build to build. But on that regard, like, they could have used that if they'd had those tools back then. The guy Philip Seymour Hoffman that played Plutarch Heavensby, he died before he got filmed his last scene. Using AI to have a voiceover of what he said, the letter he sent was meant to, the line he was meant to say to Katniss Everdeen, would have kind of worked if they'd had those tools back then. There are actors that have died before they finished their work. Using of AI of their voice kind of makes sense in that regard. Like they did in Star Wars, they used a little bit of like they did in Star Wars, they used snippets of Carrie Fisher's voice to add some extra lines into Star Wars: The Force Awakens, The Rise of Skywalker, because technically in The Rise of Skywalker, she died before they could film those bits. But they needed her because she was technically still alive. Because how is my hunger still full? Because technically it's not finished. I wouldn't say it's totally wrong though, if you get what I mean, Skatepunk. I don't think it's totally wrong to use actors' voices in AI. But I think it's only right if like the actor has died. If the actor has died before they finish their work, because technically they're still contracted to that movie. So using an AI to finish their lines, to finish their last lines, kind of works. I think. I don't think that's technically wrong. Because they've done 95% of the film, they just need that last little snippet. Let me find a second. Actors who have died before they... So, have you guys heard of Doctor Who? Well, I know Skatepunk has because I mentioned Doctor Who on stream and then he mentioned it earlier on. Have you guys heard of Doctor Who? Hey, is that an old version? How did you get access to this early version? I missed them. This isn't an early version. This is the old Legacy Console edition. These are still available to buy on on disc. Bar this one. This is just unbuyable now. I haven't got access to this early version. These versions still exist because these versions still exist. They're just so Doctor Who, the 60th anniversary special. Bernard Cribbins, who played Donna Noble's grandfather between 2008 and 2010, he made an appearance in 2023, but he was almost 95, and he died before they could finish. So they took snippets of his voice from the 2010 episodes of Doctor Who, and they gave him a last line. So because he was technically in the Doctor Who episode, he was technically with them at the end of the last episode. He was technically with them at the end of the last episode, but he died before he could shoot little bits for the third episode. They were meant to have a little bit more of him, so technically he was with them. He was with them at what should have been the start of the third episode, but because he died and they had to try and find a way around it, so they had somebody dressed up as him, and then they used snippets of his voice. They had someone use snippets of his voice so they could finish the scene off and still make it look realistic. That's a good way of doing it, because when they started filming the Doctor Who Christmas special, they didn't know. Sorry, the Doctor Who 60th anniversary special. They didn't know that Bernard Cribbins was going to die 3 weeks later, because he was when they, I believe when they did that line, he was. Why is it giving me Bernard, who used to play for Everton? Bernard Cribbins, that's the one I want. 29th of December 1928 to the 27th of July 2022. Yeah, he died when he was 94. Yeah, he was almost 94. But yeah, this actor, when he died, he hadn't quite finished his scenes for Doctor Who's 60th anniversary special. So they took a snippet of him saying, "You go with the Doctor," from the episode The Sontaran Stratagem. So technically he has a last line in Doctor Who. So when he says "you go with the Doctor" in the 60th anniversary, it's actually an episode. I don't even know. I've never played Mario Odyssey. So yeah, that's a good way of doing it, if you get what I mean. Because they didn't. You're never prepared for an actor dying while you're shooting. So another show that did that was the Doctor Who spin-off Sarah Jane Adventures. Just before they finished filming for the 6th season, Sarah Jane Smith, the actress who played Sarah Jane Smith, Elizabeth Sladen, died of cancer. They didn't know that she was going to die, because they thought, as everyone thought, that she was getting better, according to the reports. So they had to think about how to end the show. They had to find a way to end the season, but also end the show. So they sort of used her voice and made a load of words, and put a sentence together, ending it to end it, because they couldn't do Sarah Jane without Sarah Jane. So if you guys want to know what that is, Sarah Jane Adventures. Sarah Jane was the Doctor's was a friend of the third and fourth Doctors. She was she was also a friend of the 10th Doctor, because she made an appearance. She made a couple of appearances during his run. She had a child's spin-off. She had a child-orientated spin-off. So I don't hear the spoilers. But it's not a spoiler. I'm saying I'm not. It's not a spoiler. I'm not giving spoilers, guys. I'm saying how they had to work around how a show like that had to work around, cast members dying. But yeah, all shows have to do it. All shows have to do it. Sometimes, you never want to do that, do you? You never want to have to recast somebody. But then also, sometimes you don't want to recast. Sometimes you don't want to recast as well, because, they've played the role for so long. But yeah, sorry if I've gone off on a really long tangent. I've gone off on a really... I do apologise, guys. I've gone off on a really... Hello, Chloe Hillard. Welcome to the stream. I'm sorry, guys. I went off on a really long tangent about filmmaking and how they have to, recast. I hope I haven't bored everybody. I hope I haven't bored everybody with that one. But it is true. But it is true. They said sometimes with films, sometimes they have unfortunate. Sometimes with films they have unfortunate accidents. Like for example, when they work with children. When they work with children, they never know what's going to happen. They never know what's going to happen, do they? They never knew. They never knew what was going to happen in film. So, I'll be back in a second. So sometimes in TV shows, for example, when they're shooting, children grow. When you're shooting a film, for example, children grow. So sometimes it goes wrong. I think it was the same in a film. I think it happened to the Fanning sisters. I think they were meant to star in a film together in I think it happened with the Fanning sisters. I think the two actresses. I think they were meant to star in. I think they were meant to star in a TV show together. She was meant to play. I think Ellie Fanning was meant to play her sister's younger sister in the film. And I think I think the youngest grew taller than the oldest, and they had to scrap that. But I'm saying about film, they have unfortunate things like that. And films have unfortunate things like that, where basically actors, especially if they work with children, they have unfortunate circumstances, where children grow. It was a bit different with Harry Potter. Harry Potter's meant to be a very tallish character. And then when they... Harry Potter's meant to be a very tallish character. And then the guy that played Harry Potter was only 5'4". Or 5'5", one of them. It's a really interesting one. Like I said, you never know what's going to happen. So imagine casting a young child that they know that the character has to be very tall towards the end. And imagine a character has to be very tall towards the end, and then obviously the person never grows. But films have unfortunate circumstances like that. It's like they have that unfortunate circumstances with younger actors. Obviously, eventually they age out of the role. And then they have unfortunate with older actors that, their older actors have died before their films were finished. But sometimes films have to be prepared for that. I probably killed everybody with boredom talking about talking about that. I've probably absolutely bored everybody out of their mind. Oh, pardon me. Right. Well, I don't even know who's in the stream now. I think I've killed everybody with boredom. Yeah, the Fanning sisters was a good example actually. The oldest daughter was the main character. Her younger sister was meant to be her character's sister, but then the younger sister grew taller than the older sister, so they had to go around and scrap that and scrap her. They had to go and recast. But as I said, you don't know what's going to happen when you're shooting a film. Oh. Oh my god. Hello, Eranuda Minecraft. Welcome to the stream. Ooh, pardon me. How is everybody on this stream? Comment yes, no, pineapple cheese, apple face. I have no idea what that means. I'm just... What time is it, guys? My football team's on tonight, so I will be watching that. So the stream won't be ridiculously long today because my football team are playing. And everyone knows I love my football team. I'm hoping my football team win today because I think 2 more wins and I think Everton will be safe from potential relegation. Because at the moment, Everton have 32 points. No one has ever got relegated with less than... No one has ever got relegated from the Premier League with more than 40 points. They always say get to 40 points and you're safe. If you get to 40 Premier League points, then you are safe. As it stands, from 22 games, Everton have 32 points. A win tonight would put them at 35 points, and only 5 points off probably safety. There's 15 games. Well, after tonight, there's 15 games to go. After tonight, so there's 16 games to go. They can probably get another. I don't know. 10 would be 30. Another 6 would be... They can get another 48 points. Technically, they could get like 80 points if they were to win every game, the next 16 games. Obviously, I don't see them winning the next 16 games, but... Yeah. On the where the hell is my shoe? I don't know. Well, I don't know anything at the time, guys. Welcome to the stream, everybody. I apologise there was no stream yesterday. I decided to take a bit of a break. Thank you to the people who subscribed to my YouTube channel, guys. Ooh. I'm going to put something. Ooh. So. Everybody wants to rule the world. Oh, pardon me. Thank you everybody for watching the stream so far. The stream will be ridiculously long today, but yeah. So far, thank you everybody for watching. I'm probably going to end the stream soon because I've streamed for about an hour. But yeah, thank you for watching everybody, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.